9 in Honolulu, Hawaii.
This is the 6 o'clock edition of Channel 9 News and Sports with Bob Seavey, Jack Kellner, and Frank Valenti.
From the Channel 9 newsroom, this is the 9:30 report with Tim Tyndall, Linda Coble, and Mel Proctor.
Bob Seavey, Linda Coble, Gary Sprinkle, with Newsroom 9 at 6.
Good evening.
One of the good things about Hawaii is wonderful KGMB.
Live from the KGMB studios in Honolulu, Hawaii, this is KGMB News Nightcast.
This is a tragic and twisted love story on Valentine's Day. In circuit court today, the man accused of murdering 5 people and trying to kill 3 more, including the woman he loves.
One of the good things about Hawaii is wonderful KGMB.
Live from Honolulu, Hawaii, KGMB News at 5 with Jade Moon and Dave Carlin.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Live from Honolulu, Hawaii, this is KGMB 9, First News at 5. You're watching KGMB Channel 9. Now, in the spirit of Hawaii, this is KGMB 9 News at 5.
Teachers are pounding on doors to lobby lawmakers.
You're watching KGMB Channel 9. Now, in the spirit of Hawaii, this is KGMB 9 News at 6.
Good evening. I'm Jade Moon.
I'm Tim Tyndall. Thank you for joining us today.
You're watching KGMB Channel 9. Now, in the spirit of Hawaii, this is the KGMB 9 News Update.
Lights are on at the university tonight as negotiations.
KGMB 9 News Tonight starts now.
They came to this prison unannounced and left.
Tim Tyndall, Jade Moon, Ken Janala's weather, and Neil Everett Sport. You're watching KGMB 9 News Tonight.
Live, local, late breaking from Hilo to Honolulu, wherever you live. This is NBC Hawaii Today with Patty Lee and Guy Hoggy.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Patty Lee has the day off. Coming up in the news.
This is NBC Hawaii News 8 for Monday, February 12th.
A violent attack in Mililani. A man breaks into a house and beats a 52-year-old woman during a robbery.
Police are investigating one of their own after a police woman is arrested for shoplifting.
And more violence in the workplace as a man goes on a shooting rampage after losing his job.
Live from NBC Hawaii News 8, the 5 o'clock news starts now.
Good evening, I'm Dan Cook.
And I'm Heidi Umbau. Thanks for joining us.
Now, Dave Carlin and Stacy Love. This is KGMB 9 News at
10. He entertained Hawaii for more than 3 decades.
Today, Mackie Fury died in prison. He apparently committed suicide.
This is KGMB 9 News at 10.
Live from K5, the home team, Hawaii's only News at 9 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Dan Cook.
And I'm Heidi Umbau. Thanks for joining us.
Topping our news tonight.
Live, local, late breaking from Hilo to Honolulu, wherever you live. This is the K5 News at 9 with Dan Cook, Heidi Umbau, and Robert Kekala.
Welcome back.
And thanks for staying with us.
Now, from NBC Hawaii News 8, 10 at 10. 10 minutes of non-stop news, sports, and weather. 10 at 10 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Heidi Umbau.
And I'm Dan Cook. This is 10 at 10.
Our top
Live, local, late breaking. From Hilo to Honolulu, wherever you live. This is NBC Hawaii News 8 with Dan Cook, Heidi Umbau, and Robert Kekala.
Welcome back.
And thanks for staying with us.
Live, local, late breaking. You're watching News 8 at 10.
Week 1 of the NFL season came to an end tonight.
Now, from Hilo to Honolulu, live, local, late breaking. This is News 8 at 6.
It was tense.
Now, from Hilo to Honolulu, live, local, late breaking. This is News 8 at 10 with Howard Deshevsky and Jody Leong.
Good evening, everybody. We begin tonight with the late breaking story.
Now, from Hilo to Honolulu, live, local, late breaking. This is News 8 at 10.
Good evening and welcome to a special split edition of News 8 at 10. I'm Jody Leong in the News 8 studio.
And I'm Howard Deshevsky, coming to you live tonight from the Kamehameha School's main campus in Kapalama.
And now, from Honolulu, Hawaii, KGMB 9 News, Hawaii's severe weather station. You're watching Kim Tanala on KGMB 9 News at 5. And now, from Honolulu, Hawaii, KGMB 9 News, Hawaii's severe weather station.
Tonight, lurid details about the sex crime Representative Galen Fox committed, forcing his resignation from office. Good evening, I'm Jade Moon.
And I'm Kim Janala.
You're watching Kim Tanala and Jade Moon on KGMB 9 News at 6.
Well, it's not supposed to happen, but a local cemetery has been turned into a dumping ground.
From Hawaii's live, local, late-breaking news leader, this is KHNL News 8 at 5 with Walter McCallum and weather with Chief Meteorologist Sherry Shima.
Well, we are back at Honolulu.
Tonight on K5 News at 9.
Family and friends.
We are K5 News at 9. News 1 hour earlier with Stephanie Love and Walter McCallum.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. About 200 family and friends bid a final farewell.
We are K5 News at 9. News 1 hour earlier.
A Waipahu woman is in critical condition tonight.
KHNL News 8, live, local, late breaking.
It's time for a cleanup, but residents...
Live, local, late breaking. KHNL News 8.
We begin our newscast tonight with breaking news out of Waikiki.
That's our fire crews tonight. Battled a stubborn high-rise fire.
Investors across the world are cheering this morning as financial markets respond to government efforts to stabilize the turmoil. Good morning. This is Sunrise Early Edition for Monday, October 13th. I'm Grace Lee in for Ramsey Ward, and thanks for joining us this week.
Next on Sunrise at 5. Aloha and good morning. I'm Steve Uhara.
And I'm Grace Lee. Welcome to our first Sunrise on KGMB 9. Thanks for joining us. We'll have all of your top stories in just a moment, but first...
And now, from Honolulu, Hawaii, KGMB 9 News at 5.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Stacy Lowe.
And now, Hawaii's interactive newscast, KGMB 9 News at 5.
Good afternoon. I'm Tanya Joaquin. Here's what's happening now.
Now, from Honolulu, Hawaii, KGMB 9 News at 10.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Stacy Lowe.
You're watching Hawaii's most complete election coverage, on air and streaming live on KGMB9.com. Campaign 2008, Hawaii votes.
We also have live team coverage on the neighbor islands.
Now, in high definition, live, local, late breaking, K5 News at 9.
The really big impact is going to continue to be very heavy rain and associated flooding and possibly landslides.
Tropical Storm Felicia is still on track to hit Hawaii in the next 36 hours, and the biggest threat from Felicia will be the rain it brings. While Felicia has weakened throughout the day.
Now, in high definition, live, local, late breaking, KHNL News 8 at 10.
Hurricane Felicia is growing in size and strength, but are the Hawaiian Islands in danger as the storm travels west? Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us.
In high definition, live, local, connected at 5:30. This is Hawaii News Now.
Aloha, everybody. I'm Keahi Tucker.
And I'm Stephanie Lum. Welcome to our first 5:30 newscast on Hawaii News Now.
In high definition, live, local, connected at 6:30. This is Hawaii News Now.
Good evening, I'm Tanya Joaquin. Here are your top stories right now. It's day one of our new combined Hawaii News Now team. We'll give you the grand tour and get your first impressions.
In high definition, live, local, connected at 9 o'clock. This is Hawaii News Now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Stephanie Lum. Here's what's happening now.
In high definition, simulcast on KGMB and KHNL. Live, local, connected at 10 o'clock. This is Hawaii News Now.
And we start with traffic trouble. Good evening. I'm Keahi Tucker.
And I'm Stephanie Lum.
In high definition, live, local, connected. This is Hawaii News Now. Sunrise at 7.
Good morning, I'm Grace Lee.
And I'm Steve Uehara. Big day for us.
In high definition, from KGMB, this is your source for breaking news in the morning. Hawaii News Now Sunrise, early edition.
It's 4:30. The partial government shutdown still ongoing, and there is no end in sight. Even the president says that he doesn't know when it's going to end.
In high definition, from KGMB and KHNL, this is your source for breaking news in the morning. Hawaii News Now Sunrise.
Today marks the first full business day of the partial government shutdown. Hundreds of thousands of federal employees must still report to work.
Happening now at 5, a presidential visit.
In high definition, from KGMB and KHNL, this is your source for breaking news. Hawaii News Now at 5.
At first at 5, President Trump's first visit to an active combat zone since taking office. He and the First Lady met with troops at a U.S. military bases in Iraq and also in Germany.
Right now at 6.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime event for many people.
Hawaii's top visitor attraction could be at risk of closing due to the government shutdown.
In high definition, from KGMB, this is your source for breaking news. Hawaii News Now at 6.
It's the end of the first full business day since the partial government shutdown began nearly 6 days ago.
In high definition, from KGMB and KHNL, this is your source for breaking news. Hawaii News Now at 10.
First tonight, Honolulu police say speed was a factor in a crash that killed 2 people yesterday. 32.
You're watching Hawaii News Now on KGMB and KHNL. Your source for breaking news. In high definition, from KHNL. This is your source for breaking news. Hawaii News Now at 5:30.
And good evening, I'm Sean Ching. Steph has the night off. Here's a quick look at today's top headlines.
In high definition, from K5. This is your source for breaking news. Hawaii News Now at 6:30. In high definition, from K5. This is your source for breaking news. Hawaii News Now at 9.
The flood warnings have been dropped, but the heavy rain and flooding continue for parts of Maui.
Right now at 10.
There was an exchange of gunfire between the mail-in officer.
In high definition, from KGMB and KHNL,
This is your source for breaking news. Hawaii News Now at 10.
Honolulu police are searching for an attempted murder suspect after a shooting in Windward, Oahu.
This is Hawaii News Now Sunrise at 4:30.
Developing news from Kailua, a building fire broke out overnight. Our Sammy Salina is live with the latest detail.
This is Hawaii News Now Sunrise at 5.
A fire overnight damages a Kailua business. Our Sammy Salina is live at the scene and has the latest.
This is Hawaii News Now Sunrise at 5:30.
Yeah, an overnight fire under investigation right now in Kailua. Sammy Salina is live at the electric bike warehouse.
This is Hawaii News Now Sunrise at 6.
Smoke damage is visible on a Kailua building believed to be housing electric bikes.
This is Hawaii News Now Sunrise at 6:30.
President Biden is asking for Congress to help address the Red Hill water crisis.
This is Hawaii News Now Sunrise at 7.
Yeah, another domino could soon fall in the Aloha scandal.
This is Hawaii News Now Sunrise at 7:30.
A renewed plea from the Board of Water Supply as we confront a drought. What we're all being asked to do as we approach the even drier summer months.
It's Tuesday, March 29th, and this is now on HNN.
But it's also the transmissibility.
The FDA okays another Pfizer, Moderna, COVID booster for those 50 and up.
The wedding industry protests a bill that bans commercial activities at certain parks.
It doesn't, take into consideration the community and the businesses.
As gas prices soar, many Hawaii residents are forced to make changes.
It's really hard on people who are on the lower income end of things.
Oh, wow! We've got these stories, plus we're still talking about it. More reaction from Will Smith's slap heard around the world. What Jada has to say about it, coming up on This Is Now. Good afternoon. Thanks for watching This Is Now. I'm Jonathan Soppy alongside Mark Carpenter here today at noon. Thanks for having lunch with us. Today Oahu's wedding industry is renewing its calls for.
This is Hawaii News Now. First at 4.
First at 4, developments in the tainted water crisis. Board of Water Supply Chief Engineer Ernie Lau says he's hearing the fuel contamination at Red Hill could be spreading. He's also worried Oahu's water usage is rising.
This is Hawaii News Now. First at 4:30.
First at 4:30, gas prices are.
This is Hawaii News Now at 5.
A Big Island doctor and brother of Catherine K. Aloha pleads guilty to gun crimes.
This is Hawaii News Now at 5:30.
There are negotiations that have begun today, or not begun, continued today, one in Turkey and others.
Right now at 6.
Don't be so quick to open the door.
HPD is investigating a home invasion where the suspects allegedly posed as police.
Jury selection begins for a Big Island doctor who's also the brother of Catherine K. Aloha. A preview of his drug trial coming up.
Drug and firearms bust in Haiku. Who was arrested and what was found?
Also tonight, 2 deputy sheriffs get in a scuffle at the airport and one ends up in jail.
And wedding planners protest a new law keeping them from certain beaches.
This is Hawaii News Now at 6.
And first tonight, a search is on for 2 men who posed as police officers before a home invasion in Kapahulu.
Tonight, HPD is warning residents to verify the person at the door before letting them in.
Right now at 10.
They're the ones that are migrating more.
Officials say a specific group of people are making up a rising number of pedestrian fatalities. Kauai police arrest suspects in a fake jewelry scam. A teen recovers from a brain injury after a beating involving a young kickboxer from Waianae.
I feel like it should be locked up.
This is unacceptable.
Staffing shortages are leaving EMS stations unmanned. The consequences and what's being done to fix it.
And the effects of tourism on the world's largest fish.
An increase of people in the water with it, and there is no regulation.
We had some flood alerts up earlier today. Now some thunderstorms popping up north of the island chain. What can we expect for the rest of the week?
This is Hawaii News Now at 10.
And first at 10, August is Pedestrian Safety Month, and despite efforts to reduce pedestrian fatalities, that number has increased this year. And
Catch today's KGMB 9.
You're watching KHNL NBC Hawaii.